Buckle up and get ready for a fun ride.
It's about to go down.
With over 20,000 episodes of the best outdoor shows.
That's the cool thing. It's got something for everybody.
We're the home of the adventurous, the champions,
These guys are the best of the best.
the legends.
There are bigger things happening out here than just shooting bullets at animals.
Get 3 months of MyOutdoorTV for only $1 a month when you use promo code YouTube1.
Each hunting season begins with renewed enthusiasm and anticipation of what we all hope lies ahead. But it usually doesn't take very long for things to go in directions we had not hoped for.
Hey, Bear! Hey, get away from the boat!
Often the most memorable and rewarding hunts are the ones where you had to overcome the most difficult circumstances. This season presented us with far more challenges than we could have ever imagined. Even the little success we did find came at times and places that were far less than ideal. It wasn't the journey we had envisioned, but it was the one we lived, and one we will not soon forget.
Well, it's September 12th. Randy and I just got in here to start this elk hunt. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I'm familiar with this country, but never hunted it. So even though I kind of know my way around this country, I don't know really what to expect as far as elk hunting it. So super excited for this hunt, you know, and never hunting this area but being familiar with it, I know that it has more timber than a lot of the other areas that I've chosen to elk hunt in the past. I do think because of all this timber that calls are going to be a lot more beneficial, and necessary for success than a lot of the elk hunts that I've been on. So nothing answered me here, but we got up here kind of late. It's about 10 o'clock, so we took a couple days off at home after one of the toughest deer hunts I've ever been on. It was tough. We just burned a lot of boot leather. That was about the only thing I really feel like we accomplished. We did find some good elk areas, but my elk tag's not valid for down there. It's valid for here, so I'm kind of hoping for a change in luck. You need luck on all hunts, but we got nothing on the last hunt. It was mostly due to hunting pressure. Really refreshing to see a trail that doesn't have a bunch of fresh boot tracks in it, so I'm pretty excited. Well, it sure looks good. I mean, I can't imagine that there isn't a bull somewhere over on the other side, right across from us. It sure looks awesome. Hopefully we get lucky and spot or hear something, sooner than later, but I would definitely anticipate that, at some point this afternoon, that we locate something in this area. It sure looks awesome, but never been up here in September before. It's a big question mark at this point, but that's kind of what makes it, so exciting. But yeah, there's no question that this is definitely the hunt that you know, I've been looking forward to the most. You know, just really, really looking forward to it, almost to the point that it makes me just a little nervous, you know, like I just want to capitalize on the opportunity, and I just want to try to experience it to the fullest. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't shoot a bull this evening if we got close to a big one. But yeah, really looking forward to this elk hunt.
A lot of things in life tend to be a little nerve-wracking the very first time you attempt them. But generally, those emotions fade with repetition. Elk hunting in Wyoming is an exception for me. Sometimes it even feels like the more times I do it, the more nerve-wracking it is. It's kind of a high-risk, high-reward, be careful what you wish for type of thing. Of all the places out west I've been fortunate to have hunted elk, Wyoming has unquestionably produced the highest of highs, but also instilled the most fear and discomfort. Its combination of rugged terrain, fierce weather, and healthy grizzly population presents some formidable challenges both physically and mentally. It's the wildest, most perfectly untamed place I could ever hope to find. It's not the most relaxing place I've ever hunted, but it makes me feel the most alive.
The Western Hunter is presented by Browning, the best there is. Benchmade knives, the most advanced hunting knives ever. Wilderness Athlete, fuel for the rugged. Option Archery, bringing target precision to hunting camp. Matthews Archery. Crispy Boots. And Western Hunter Magazine.
Well, it's almost 5 o'clock. Not much has happened since the last time we had the camera on. We've just been hanging out here, and it's been pretty dead. But it does feel like it's setting up to be a pretty good evening. These clouds rolling in are going to probably bring the elk out just a little bit sooner. I don't really know what to expect in this drainage, but I do expect that by the time it's dark, we're going to have a pretty good idea if this is a spot we want to hunt for very long or not. Well, it's taken longer than I thought, but one bull popped out across the canyon from us. Looks like a, younger 6-point. Really hoping that's a satellite bull, and hopefully there's a herd over there that he's not too far from. He's just kind of shadowing, but it's really starting to cool off now. It looks like we're probably going to get some rain here in the next half hour or so, still optimistic. Well, I think we've spent enough time here. I mean, there's probably elk here that we haven't seen, but I do think that if there was any vocal bulls in here, probably would have heard one sound off, or one would have answered my calls. So there's probably elk here we haven't seen. I'm just not super interested in, trying to play with elk that aren't being vocal. There's got to be bulls out here bugling somewhere. They're just not in this drainage right now. So I think we're just going to pack up. We're going to head down the ridge about 1.5 miles and peek over and listen into another drainage we haven't been to yet, and hopefully we can find a bull talking over there. Well, we just made it over here. It took me about 30 seconds of glass, and I spotted a bunch of elk over here. I'm gonna kind of look them over real quick and then get my map out. The only thing I'm worried about is if they're on public or not. Private land is usually not a factor on my Wyoming hunts. You know, I expect it like when I hunt in Montana, a lot of places I'm hunting around private. I rarely ever have to deal with private land on my Wyoming hunts, but on this particular hunt, it could be a bit of a factor. It's just something I'm gonna have to work around. Well, there's one bull that's down definitely on public. Not sure about the rest of them yet. Well, that big giant herd is definitely like right on the edge of private right now, which I don't love that, but I have seen several other elk well up on the public. We've been hearing some bugles down here, another one back over this way, which is on public, so I was just kind of surveying some of this stuff behind us as well, just trying to kind of take inventory and weigh out our options for in the morning, but I feel pretty optimistic about having an elk encounter or two tomorrow. Hopefully he just fucking runs when he sees him.
This segment was presented by Outdoorsman's Tripods. Visit outdoorsmans.com to build your tripod today. Well, we just decided to load up a couple nights worth of food. We're packing up and over into that drainage we left last night, which it's still on the other side of this, but right as we're getting close to the top here, we bumped a herd of elk with looks like a decent 6-point bull. I haven't got a great look at him, but he's bugling up here, so it's a good start. I was just starting to wonder, this looks like a perfect place for elk to be hanging out in these aspens and stuff, and sure enough, they're here. I don't know if he was bugling all morning. We just couldn't hear him until we got up here, but it's pretty awesome to hear a elk bugling. The Western Hunter is presented by Swarovski Optic, See the Unseen, Browning Ammunition, Outdoorsman's Packs and Tripods, On X Hunt, Know Where You Stand, Phelps Game Calls, Get 'em Close, Chally, the world's finest optics mounting system, and Dark Timber Coffee Company.
Well, we made pretty good time getting up here to the top. Oh, a bull just started bugling here down below us. Sounds like he's pissed. It's not taking too long to just start to get a sense of where we should probably set up our camp. We'll probably end up heading down this ridge here. Who knows, maybe we won't even have to wait till this afternoon to get after some elk. It's definitely, I mean, the elk are not like going berserk or anything like that, but we've been up here long enough to, we can tell there's a lot of elk in here. We've heard bugles on, you know, from a lot of little nooks and crannies, and we've heard, you know, like there's been a bull raking a tree down in this draw, and we've heard sticks breaking over here. Like, it kind of feels like this place has just got elk sprinkled all throughout it. I know the best thing to do is just go into a hunt and, you know, adapt as necessary. You know, there's constantly situations that are coming up that if you want to, you know, ultimately be successful, you have to make adjustments. Before every hunt, I always have a game plan. I always have a very detailed game plan of like where I think I'm going to hunt, pick out the best glassing areas. I try to pick out terrain that I feel like is favorable for hunting. I've got numerous spots picked out for this hunt, and this is not one of those. I really never anticipated hunting elk in this spot, but this is where a bunch of elk are right now. So I'm just kind of having to survey it and try to wrap my head around, you know, what I think might be the best play. It's just starting to get warm enough. The sun's starting to hit this, that the thermals are going to be kind of unstable down there for the next little while. So even though like I feel like I just want to run down there, you know, get in the middle of them, I feel like if I can just be patient until after the thermals stabilize, it'd probably be a good idea.
This segment is presented by Benchmade Hunt, the most advanced hunting knives ever.
Well, we made it down here quite a bit farther than I was originally planning. We made a big loop in a failed attempt to find water. The only places we ever found water, the elk had made wallows out of it, and certainly we could survive off of it, but we're not that desperate yet to drink muddy piss water, so we haven't found water yet, but I'm guessing there's probably good water in this drainage, so we are not far away. We're just gonna kind of hang out here, glass, listen, and hopefully before too late in the afternoon, they get active and we can head over there. About 3:15, and the elk are getting up and stirring just a little bit. We're hearing a lot more bugles here just over the last half an hour, and there's a couple bulls just on either side of this ridge that we're on, down a little lower from us. And I know you can't tell much by a bull's bugle, but they both sound awesome. I think we're just gonna drop down. We're probably only gonna have to go like a half a mile, and we're probably gonna change into our camo, but it's not what I was planning on doing, but it just seems like too perfect of a scenario, so I think we're gonna start heading down there. There's barely a breeze down here. Still feels like it's in our favor. Last time that bull bugled, he couldn't have been more than 300 yards from here, so we're gonna start slipping our way through and hope yeah, it's still in our favor. Just breeze. It's pretty quiet down here, so hopefully we can be quiet. It's pretty dry. Well, we lost track of that bull for the last hour or so, so we just kind of kept working down to where I thought we might be able to hear better, and we got water, which we needed, but now we got the wind wrong, so we just relocated him. He's bugling up here in the timber, but I think what we're going to do is probably start going back the way we came, try to get same elevation as him, and it's really hard to keep track. He might be moving. Well, as you can see, we did the best we could with a setup here, but there wasn't a lot of shooting lanes. It's just dog hair, thick blowdown. I never could get a great look at him. I could tell he was a really nice 6-point for sure. I'm kind of proud of myself, really. Like, I was like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna not try to get too close, and I'm gonna try to call the bull in. It goes against every instinct that I have. I just prefer to be quiet, let them talk, and it worked. Gives me a lot of confidence that on our first setup, calling a nice 6-point, pretty awesome. And the good news is there's another bull bugling across the draw here, so we'll probably start heading in that direction. That's the other nice thing about not waiting until dark, is you might actually be able to make more than one play in an evening. So we'll start working our way that way.
We hope you enjoyed this free preview from MyOutdoorTV. To continue watching, start your free trial now. Then get your first 3 months for $1 a month when you use promo code YouTube1.